It's not me either.
I want to see that.
Yeah.
Never. No, I would jump off the nearest roof.
No.
I'll make you a baby shower.
No, actually, Joanne, now if it's not your first child, you have a sprinkle.
Oh,
Okay.
excuse me.
If you have a child, no matter how old, and you're pregnant with another one, it's not a shower. It's called a sprinkle.
And that's what it is? Oh.
And who made that up?
I don't know. Hallmark.
People.
Hallmark. I don't know.
The same crap about revealing the gender.
Exactly.
Right. Oh,
Same
man.
idiots.
We have a quorum.
Everything's for a party.
Okay, all right.
It's a Kodak moment. It's another Hallmark moment.
Marian, I'll pass it on to you after I say a few words, and then
Right.
we can
Before we-
pass it on because you're the.
I have a favor. Can Eddie
Yes.
please put the text that you guys wrote, share his screen?
Yes,
with
he
it?
will.
Oh, yes, I'm definitely.
Yes, so everybody can see it.
Yes,
Yes.
we definitely put that up. All right.
So, but I
before
want
we
to say a
begin-
few words before we start.
Okay, before we begin, we have, this is being recorded, so anything that you say or put in chat can be for a later date, okay? All right, go ahead, Lucy.
Okay, so I want to thank everyone for attending this meeting. We'll try to make it, if it gets a little lengthy, we'll have another one to continue the discussion. Today will probably only be a discussion. So after, somebody has to be muted.
I got it.
Thank you.
After that, we've had a few controversial co-namings. And we also, I'm not gonna say we, I had an incident with Councilwoman Ina, meaning it was when she first came into office, a lot of things went back and forth about a co-naming. But I also want to thank her because now she has publicly said that she would back up the community boards on co-naming. So I bring that back to her, that we said thank you very much to her for that and respecting us. I want to thank Lucia very much because she created this document, and when she created it, she cut pieces and took it from other community boards. It wasn't something that we just came out of the air, and I asked her if she can do that. This is not in stone. It's a draft. It's something that we just came up with. You know, we're going to add, we're going to take off, we're going to do everything in our power to get guidelines for our community. One of the other reasons that I decided to bring this up is because I personally knew there were guidelines for other community boards, but because term limits are coming and moving down the road is not going to happen today, it's not going to happen tomorrow, I think in the next 4 years, this community board, my understanding, has always done things on memories. They remember that Lucy was here, that Pat was here, that Mariam was here, but if they're going to switch it up, that we're going to be gone, because they're going to take us away because term limits, those memories are going to be gone. And sometimes records disappear. You know, we asked the borough president's office if they can go backtracking to the 70s to find out when Bernie became a board member. And they said, oh, no, we don't have those records. We only have records until, what is it, 10 years ago, Eddie, or something like that?
Yeah, only up to 2010.
2010. So they don't have those records. So that's what I said. We all have our marbles and we're all bright enough to remember, but with term limits and people leaving and not be interested, it is just best for us to have some type of guidelines. So that was the reason that I decided to bring this to the committee. If there's any objections, we could close the meeting now. And we don't have any guidelines, but those are the reasons I think they make sense. So if everybody's okay with it, Eddie will put up the screen. And if no one wants to do guidelines, we could go home. Okay, so is everyone okay with creating guidelines? If there's I saw everything off my screen, so if someone objects to it, speak up now, unmute yourself. And does it make sense what I said a little bit? Because some of the stuff I say don't make sense. Okay, so I'm gonna mute myself if I could find it, because now the screen is a little different.
It's on top.
Go ahead, Marian.
Okay, I'd like to welcome everybody. And I guess we should start of the beginning. The first paragraph, which is very, very nice. And I personally don't have any problem with it. Does anybody have a problem with it? Has everybody managed to read the first paragraph? That's all so far. Okay, by the silence that I hear, I guess nobody has a problem. All right, I did look up the ceremonial street naming policy and the law set by the New York City Department of Transportation, which is basically what has been included in this. All right, so that's something else. All right, the third one, applicants will be a local person or group that belongs to the Brooklyn Community Board 13 district. I kind of think, and Lucy, please correct me if I'm wrong, but if they're not connected somehow to this community board district, why in the world are they applying to Brooklyn Community Board 13? I guess
Well,
people have to be reminded. Yeah, Eddie?
I think one of the things that were passed in the past, which I guess we did it because he was famous, was Arnold Guthrie. Even though he didn't participate with the community board, he was born here, and they put
Woody Guthrie.
Woody Guthrie. Thank you. Sorry,
Woody
Arthur.
Guthrie, not Arlo.
Woody already, you know, they're the same thing, but okay. But I think, was there a sign going up somewhere in 35th Street, I guess, on the west end of Coney Island? So
I don't think that was her question. Her question was, why in the world would we pick anyone that's not in our district? And the
But
sentence
we
is there
did.
because people
I
don't have
didn't say
common
that.
sense.
I said, why would someone apply to the community board?
Oh, that's not in our district.
Well, we already had it,
Don't ask me.
all right?
I think I saw somebody's hand risen. I don't know.
Oh, Mike,
I'm all over the place with the screen, sorry.
yeah.
Yeah, I just have a question about number 2.
Okay.
Applicants will be a local person or group that belongs to
I think,
Brooklyn Community Board 13.
Michael, how about changing it that is within
I'd
the
love to
boundaries
finish it
of-
though. Maybe that would help.
Okay. go ahead.
Yeah, they don't belong. They're within the boundaries. For their actions have been part of what consists of Community Board 13's.
Well,
boundaries.
it does say belongs to.
Mhm.
Do we actually mean has lived in or served the Brooklyn Community Board 13 district?
Mm,
Sure, let's rewrite
Yeah.
it. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Well, who
Michael,
else
rewrite-
would it be?
Okay, so
So-
what do we want to change belongs to? The word
Resides in,
resides?
resides in
not,
the community board.
not reside.
Guys, stop
Reside.
jumping all over the place. Let Michael give you the sentence, please.
Okay,
Okay.
Michael.
That has lived or worked within the Brooklyn Community Board 13 district.
I still would rather put boundaries. Because with all this redistricting that's going on, God knows what. They're liable to redo Community Board 13's district.
So what?
Who knows?
What?
I'm not
They're still in our district.
I'm not
Yeah,
saying
right.
leave the district, take out the district. But they either, the point was that they live here or they worked here, just like it is to be a member of the community board, correct? Nobody belongs to the district, is my point.
Yeah, so strike out district.
No,
But
take out
reside-
belongs.
No,
Guys, he said a complete sentence and he said it twice. Go ahead, Michael, again.
will be a local person or group that resides or that has lived in or worked in the Brooklyn Community Board 13 district. It has nothing to do with redistricting or anything like that. As long as they've been in the Brooklyn Community Board 13 area, which I believe that's the point of this whole thing.
Can we just take the
like it.
word district out, Michael?
No, why would you?
No, leave it. Leave the district.
No,
in there.
my,
I
my
like
point,
it.
my point is, what does belongs mean?
No, take out belongs.
Take
But I'm
out
just
belongs,
saying,
yeah.
resides in or has worked in Brooklyn Community Board 13.
Has lived
No.
or worked.
Yeah.
You ain't gotta say
Wait a
district.
minute, isn't the, the conditions of being a community board member is that you live in the district within the boundaries,
Right,
work in
Yes.
the boundaries, or
Right.
you're an asset to the community.
Right, yes.
And I think of like Freddie Schneider when he didn't live within the community, but yet helped the community in any way possible.
Absolutely.
So I think, I wouldn't say assists, but Michael, help me with the words. But there are people that don't live within the community.
but they work.
It worked. It was.
Yeah, but they also do special things to the community. If
Wait,
there
but
was
they
a
work
flood
in the
somewhere and the
Okay,
board, Joanne,
may-
can I finish?
Okay.
All right, and if there was a flood somewhere and Barbara lifted up the phone and called Freddie, you know that there's gonna be somebody from DEP to be there. Not that we could part of a line of, we would be serviced quicker.
Okay, so you just can add, I'm really sorry, Michael, if you don't mind, if you just can add to lived and work or service, so that's it.
I
If
think
you
number
just
5
add the
covers
word
what you guys
service,
want. I think number 5 is covering what you want. Can you look at number 5 and maybe we could combine 2 and 5 together?
No, that's,
With significant interest.
Again, it's in the district.
It says a resident or person with significant interest. I think that covers Freddie Schneider.
Yes.
Right, but see,
all
Okay,
right, so
so
then
let's go
get
back
rid
to
of
number 2. So leave it as what Michael said. It was very clear.
All right, why the number 10 years?
Well, that we'll go down, we'll get there, but we're still on number 2. I think what Michael said was number 2 was fine.
Okay, so Barbara, can you see what is written for number 2?
Applicant will be a local person or group that resides in or works in Brooklyn Community Board 13 district.
right,
Is
Michael?
that good? Is that good, Michael? We can't. No, sorry, Michael. Michael Silverman. We can't see everybody here.
Yes,
Yes, I
Yeah.
think that's exactly what you're trying to say here.
Okay,
Okay,
Cool, move on,
All right.
number 3.
3. Oh, wait.
Number
Fanya first. She has her hand
I
up.
have a question about number 3.
Okay, wait, before you go
And
to
I-
number 3, Fanya has her hand up.
Yes, excuse me. I don't see the handout on my computer. Did you send everyone? Because I even don't understand what you're talking about.
Okay, Lucia, can you send that to her? And also it's on our screen. Can you see
On
our
our
screen?
screen, I tried to read it, but it went out very quickly.
No, it's
Lucy-
still on the screen. It's on our screen right now.
I think
Oh,
she's
Lucy-
on a
the screen now.
telephone.
Oh, okay. If
Can
it's
you
on the
send-
telephone, you have to swipe left to see.
Don't make her go through craziness. Just resend her the email.
Yes,
No,
Lucia.
you didn't want it sent to anybody that's not on the committee.
Oh, okay.
Ah,
Oh, well, then she can't see it because she's not on the committee. Move on. Sorry, I didn't know. Number 3, go ahead.
Then I even don't know.
All
But
right,
are we
only
gonna dis-
applications for
excuse me,
proposed
but are we-
individual,
excuse me, but are we gonna discuss this during the general meeting, whatever you decided, whatever committee
Well, we're
decided?
no, this is
right
gonna
now,
stay in
Fanya, is-
committee.
Yeah, Fanya, what we're doing now is try to clean it up and make a draft. We'll probably have another committee meeting, and then at that time, we will submit it to all members. Because
Oh,
I don't
okay.
want 50 people here trying to discuss something, and we
Okay.
can't even get past number 3. But you're
Okay.
welcome to stay and listen. Go
Okay.
ahead, Marianne, number 3.
Thank you so much. Okay, yeah,
Okay.
bye.
All right,
Only
hold on.
applications for proposed individuals who have been deceased for a minimum of 5 years.
What's the
Okay,
point
my
of 5
question
years?
is why 5 years? All right.
Why years involved? They're
No.
dead.
Excuse me?
That's just a number. So is it
Yeah,
more
I
or
know,
less?
but
do you think?
what I'm thinking of, all right, is the main reason that they name everything after dead people is from Bernie Colvin, the former head of correction. He was the police.
Yes.
And then
Eric?
it turned out he was very instrumental in doing
Eric.
very bad,
Carrick,
Sure,
Carrick, Bernie
yeah.
Carrick.
You're right.
right? Very bad in doing bad things. So that's why you have to be dead for 5 years so they can make sure.
That's
don't
what was
find
my
any-
point for the 5 years, because I said a year later, you find out all the dirt on these people.
The
And
skeletons
then
in
you
the
already
closet.
co-named them. But
Yeah.
if people want to make it more than 5 or less than 5, that's why we're here.
But Lucy, we have to be sure that once we get the correct number of years, whatever the committee wants, that the electeds stay within our parameters. Because once, when Jimmy Prince,
That's a
I
good
think,
point.
passed, when Jimmy Prince passed, the councilman jumped up and said, we're going to name a street after him. But that was
Yeah.
like, I don't even know if he was buried yet. So the elected officials are going to have to abide by what.
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean that somebody's gonna die within that elected official's term.
No, it's
No,
just
but I'm
any
saying that
future.
once the person dies, the elected official can say, we're gonna co-name
I'm
this.
going to push it to rename it now. Yeah. So
Say
don't-
just-
And yes, he can
was
send the
deceased.
application and we send him our guidelines and then,
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
okay, but again, it's like I said, 5 years is all up to everybody. That was, my mind frame was because of what Marianne just pointed out.
Very rare those things happen, but somebody should be vested anyway by the executive committee or somebody.
Yeah.
See if they qualify. When somebody comes to nominate somebody.
Yeah, well, obviously somebody did its homework when they renamed
The
the
street, yeah.
Manhattan House of Detention, so.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so back to the initial question, 5 years, 3 years, 2 years, 10 years, 15, I don't
I
really
would
care.
go with 3 years because I don't
3
think
years sounds a little more.
3 years,
Hear
you
about
know?
somebody.
Is there any objection for 3 years?
3 years works because a lot of people are gonna term out. With the new
3 years
rules.
it is then.
Okay, wait.
right.
Gloria, you have something to say?
Yes, during this conversation, I was thinking, and I always ask questions why Christopher be sitting on all of our committees and all of our meetings. What role or what capture in this new rules and regulation where he fit in as a representative for transit or part of our community? I just
Number
want to.
5, number 5, read number 5
Okay.
when we get there. Number 4, let's move
Right,
on.
the
I think
proposed-
unless there was hands, 3 years we're going. Go ahead, Marianne, number 4.
Number 4, and this makes perfect sense. The proposed individual's family next of kin must be informed and approve of the co-naming. Have you ever had a problem, Eddie?
No, nothing like that. It's just more
Lucy's
of them
shaking
getting
her head
notified
yes.
afterwards.
We just had that problem
No,
recently.
I'm saying people getting notified, usually they try to notify the family first or they approach us first.
But they
usually-
didn't notify
I
the
know,
person.
no, I'm
Family
saying
last
that's,
co-naming.
I know.
Okay, so she just asked if there was. Yes, there was.
Yes, it was.
Okay, so we leave that in there.
Unless
All right,
anyone,
as you said, if we take number 5 and make it number 2,
will combine it, we could.
combine it, yeah,
I got 10 years. I think that should be more open too.
yeah.
3 years is fine with me. How about you guys?
10 years is a long time considering that community board members are only going to be allowed to have 8.
6.
That people on the Coney Island cab can only have 6. I mean, it's 10 years is kind of long.
So if people do not serve as the members of community board, they still, the people we should call name streets for people who, help community, not only being community board members, but doing some other things. I believe
Right.
10 is fine.
I agree.
Everyone agrees with 10, or you guys
I
want to lower it
agree.
or higher it?
Um,
10 works.
let me just ask a question. This is playing devil's advocate. I hate to say this, but someone way like maybe 6 or 7 years ago came to us from Coney Island Hospital. Someone passed away. They worked there 35 years in the hospital.
Oh, the janitor. He was,
Yes.
yeah.
So the question is, would that fall into this part or not? 'Cause we
No.
weren't sure. No, because we weren't sure at that time because they were only known to the person in the hospital, but they
They
wanted to
were willing to
commemorate that.
have the little alcove be designated for
Okay.
him.
But you understand, Marion, right? You remember that part where we said, okay, was he made a significant contribution to the neighborhood because he was there 35 years, which only the Coney Island Hospital knew, but they wanted to, put a street name there, which we thought was like kind of weird because it only benefited them. All right, Michael.
I think you have to be careful with the
Yeah.
10 years
Excuse me
because
one
of,
second. Talk louder.
Okay, go ahead.
I think you need to be careful with the 10 years because after a while, any institutional memory from the board members is not going to be there with a 9-year term limit. So you can have a whole generation of people being forgotten about because it didn't happen on their watch.
True.
So I think it really makes more sense that if you cut that in half to 5 years, okay, you'll still have some leftover time on Community Board 13, and you won't lose out on a whole bunch of, people that have left us already, but the new members of the board have no clue as to who they are. No one to share the stories with.
I think you're making a very valid point.
Get 4, so it matches the terms that you have 2-year terms of the community board, two terms maybe.
I'm fine
No,
with
we're
5.
gonna, yeah, you have 2-year terms, but you can only serve for a maximum of 8 years
Oh, pick 4 years instead of 5, I'm saying.
or 4 terms.
So you want
I'm
to
fine
move
with
this
5.
by?
I said I'm fine with it. I don't know what everybody else wants to say.
5 works for me.
Okay.
It's the same as number 3.
Yeah. So there's no
5
objection.
years?
Yes, for 5
No,
years.
number 3 has been changed now to 3 years, Mike Russo.
I'm drinking.
You're drinking.
Yeah, but I think 10 years
We're
of
recording.
service.
Yes,
would
10
say
years
conflict
changes
with
to
10
5
years.
years. 10 years changes to 5.
5. Okay.
Wait, I think Pat Singer said 10. Did she say
Oh,
she's
no, I said I was
okay with the
against
5?
10.
Oh, you want the 5? Okay, so we'll move it to 5. That's it.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
good. My plaque goes up faster. My not plaque, my whatever.
Treatment.
Naming.
Okay.
6.
Bite your tongue.
All right, number 6.
Number 6, applicants are expected to comply with, I think that should be the last, with these guidelines and provide all information necessary to complete the accompanying application and a biography. I think it should be just to complete the total application. Because the next thing you talk about a biography, supporting documentation, printed name.
I want to add one sentence to number 6, if it's okay with everyone, that the bio be no longer than 2 pages. I really don't want to read a 10-page bio that Lucy.
Oh.
So can we put a limit on the bio?
Well, wait a
Pages.
minute, Lucy.
I put any limit on the buy, just let it be open. That'd give it 3.
Guys, what does number 7 say then?
No, that number 7 says petitions. That's different.
No, supporting documentation, you say first, which to me would be a biography.
No, I'm
just
saying,
make
can we
it-
put a limit on how many pages of the bio? I don't want to read a 15-page bio on
Don't
Joanne.
make 150-word limit.
No, that's too little.
It's 2
It's not
paragraphs.
that much.
Thank you, Michael.
250 is a page.
Okay.
Okay, so can we say, I'm just asking, if people say no, we just leave it. If we need to read 20 pages that Lucy was the best thing in the world, then fine.
No.
I don't think you'll get that far with 20 pages. You'll probably get 1.5.
300
but-
signatures to come like that. That's a whole big drag too. I would think that's not necessary. Let them make their case. That's why you vote on it, yes or no.
There's not enough pages for that.
So no,
2 pages
What
is
does the
fine.
other?
Joanne wants words. I want 2 pages. Everybody's saying let people write 100 pages because I don't care. I'm just bringing it up.
I've never seen anybody nominate somebody and write 100 pages. I've seen what you put in to us to read. It's not that
Oh
long.
my God, Pat,
Oh,
you'll be
no.
surprised what you receive.
Make
You'll
it
be
500 words.
surprised. Again, they like to make these things fat.
Marion
They
said
wanna
200
fluff it up.
words, 250 words a page. Let's make it 500 words.
Or just say no more than 2 pages then.
Single space and double space.
So make it 500 words.
I wouldn't
You
use
have to write
words. I
that
would say
much to
page.
convince somebody that you don't have a good nominee.
I mean, we could go technical and say, has to be Times New Roman,
No.
single spaced and font
No,
of 12.
listen, stop, Lucia. You're making things crazy.
No, if you make it.
If you guys don't want to go with the
single page, it'll
pages,
on
you can just move on.
I think 2 pages.
How about 3 pages? Can we say 3 pages?
What is,
Excuse
what
me,
is?
why don't you say up to 500 words? If they can't say it in 500 words, then obviously the person is
I
not.
think Michael's going with okay with that. So 500 it is. Let's move on.
500 words or less, so they have to
Or
go.
less, or less.
No,
Take a picture, it's
maximum.
1,000 words.
Or 500 maximum.
1,000 words?
No.
I said,
You're
take a
gonna reach.
picture, it's worth 1,000 words.
500
No.
words or
Oh,
less.
she's not known. They're not going to vote for this person. They're known they don't need all
Okay.
that.
I can't see my screen if anybody else is saying objecting to it, but 500 words or less. Isn't that a show or
less.
something? I don't know.
Okay, it looks good.
Lucia, are you okay with you getting these changes?
Yes.
Okay, number 7. There was a big objection to 300 signatures. I like
Yes. But
300. but-
I have a question. You have 300 signatures. I intend to nominate Marcy Feigenbaum for a street closing, of street name.
Who?
Marcy- Okay.
That's your answer, Joanne.
I know. Marcy Feigenbaum was probably the best district leader that this community ever had. She was out in the street all the time. And she used to work for Howie Golden in the borough
Yeah.
president's office. She was a phenomenal person. She happened to have been my mentor, but in addition to that, I don't know if I could get 300 signatures because those that remember her know she was
Well,
terrific.
check the
but-
corned beef, it's boiling.
Nope. Sorry. We muted you, Mary.
We're all going to Marion's house tomorrow for corned beef and cabbage. We now know she's cooking.
Good, great. So can
Marcy
we get-
Feigenbaum was a key player on the community board 13 back in the 70s when I just
Yeah.
joined.
Yeah.
She was a leader, a big leader.
Absolutely. She was our district leader with Sam Horowitz. She was our district leader with Shelley Plotnick. She was our
Fought for the
district leader with Murray
Cyclone, she
Rayfield.
fought for the parachute
Right.
jump.
Okay, guys, we're only on page 1. Can we move on? So what is the amount if you don't want 300?
I would say 100.
Yes. And not even that. It's not, it's
No,
not
that's not
election.
enough. That's
sorry.
not enough. Can we,
I-
can we make it, can we make it in between at least 200? And I promise you, and I will help you to collect 100 signatures.
No, I think that you can play with that. It's an election. I don't like that. I think that's.
Okay.
enough.
I have a comment to make. So when I was researching all of these guidelines, it was so specific, some of them, that they wanted 500 signatures within a 2-block radius.
So you're out of
Yeah.
their minds?
I'm sorry?
I said they're out of their minds.
No,
Well,
but they got it. They
but
got
it
it.
has to
I've
be
seen co-naming
exclusive.
applications for people that had to be dead for 25 freaking years. We'd be dead
Wow.
before that name comes up.
Right, absolutely, Lou.
So-
I mean, so what do you guys want to go with? Yelena 200 or you want to go with the 150? Please make a vote. Well, not a vote, but you know,
150.
we're gonna keep going.
150.
Don't like 200. I don't think it's not a popularity thing. This is deserve it. Does this person deserve it? You might have 10 people nominate that same year, but you use because this one has 200 signatures, this one has 300. That's your basis. No, knowing the person and their deed.
I say 150.
Me too.
Is everyone in agreement or they're just like?
Looks
200.
like
I'm for
Michael
200.
Silverman
Let's
is
go
in
down the
agreement.
line.
I say 100.
Okay, so Lucia, now you have a little job to do. For each member's name and figure out what their amount is, and then we can work it together.
No problem. Marion Cleaver,
You got unmute.
Taking a vote.
100.
100. I heard you.
Thank
And
you.
I took-
Pat
I took that
Singer?
too.
Pat Singer,
See how many signatures?
how
Yeah.
many signatures?
Okay, 100. I'll compromise.
I said 100 first.
Well, hold
we're
on a
waiting
second.
for
Wait
her
a
to
We're going
call your
down the
name.
line.
We got you.
Yelena,
200.
Michael,
Which one?
how many
You, Michael
signatures do you
Russo.
want?
Which Michael?
Signatures.
Oh, I'm
Russo.
sorry. Michael Russo,
100.
Jeffrey Sanoff,
200.
And the loud.
Gloria, how many? You said 100?
Yes.
Joanne Weiss?
100.
I mean, 100 wins.
You didn't call me and you
Oh,
didn't
I'm
call
sorry.
Sam.
What? Sam
Sam's
is,
here. Sam's here now,
Sam's here?
yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see Sam. My apologies. Lucy Mujica Diaz,
200.
Sam Ronkowski,
200.
Oh.
it's a tie.
It's a tie.
No,
Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
3, 4.
All right, so it's 5 100s and 4 200s. I mean, to break it
100
even.
is.
If you want to
Can the
compromise,
100s at least go with 150?
yeah, well, you can compromise to make it 150.
Can we compromise here with the
Yeah, go down the
100s? Any
middle.
objections?
Go down
No,
the
I
middle.
have no objection.
150 it is.
We don't know. I didn't hear any objections. Calm down.
Oh.
No objection.
Anyone's objecting?
Pat?
No, I'm fine.
Oh, we're such a great family. Let's move on.
Okay, so it's 150 now, all right?
Number 8, which is actually now gonna be
Well,
number 7, but go ahead.
Unbelievable.
Hmm? What did I do wrong, Gloria? We agree.
No,
We're
no,
a
she's
family.
muted now. She's muted now. Nope, don't worry. That's okay.
Come on.
She's sticking her finger at me. Okay.
No, no. Number 8.
Number 8, which is actually number 7, because we combined number 5
I'm
and
at a meeting,
number.
so my
Okay.
Okay.
Number 8, go ahead, Marion.
Number 8, upon satisfying the form and contact standards for a complete submittal, the district office shall refer the review to the land use committee. Are you going to give the district office, like, in other words, they came up with this idea, they make an application, they have to go out and get petitions signed, 150 names. Do you want them to do it within a specified time period of bringing the thing up to the community board? Or does this all have to be done prior to even thinking about it?
I mean, prior to the scheduling of the meeting, the land use meeting, I would say.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is, all right, Joanne just brought up
Marcy.
Marcy, who a lot of us remember, an awful lot of us who have the
Mhm.
the memory of Marcy, and we remember her. We remember her working at Marty Markowitz's concerts.
Oh, God.
when they were in Ashland Park. We remember her. Now, how many people are left that remember her? Yet she did a great service to the community. It's just something to think about.
I don't know what, I'm confused as to
I don't
why
know
is
what-
that relevant to number 8?
What I'm thinking about, I'm reading all of these, and then I'm thinking the complete submittal from the time they mention it to the complete submittal. It's two thoughts in my head, but by the time they think about it to the complete submittal, they got 2 months to do it, or they got 3 months to do it.
2
or they
months
got
sounds
half
good
a
to me.
year.
I think if it's that interested, in 2 months, they could submit it.
Yeah,
And they can come back in 2 months and say, I
Check it
don't
out.
have it. Can you give me another month? And then we give them another month, whatever they have it ready.
right. But in other words, it's not something that they have a year to do.
Right.
I think if they want
other
a year to
thing
get it
is-
together, they can have a year to get it together. That's my opinion.
If it takes that long for them, that's when they'll submit it. If they don't, if nobody.
And when
wants
they
it-
submit all the proper paperwork, then they submit it. They, like, I'm agreeing with Pam, they submit it 6 months later, that's when we look at it. Michael Silverman,
no big deal. We don't have to put any time limit on it. They come to us, they come to
All
us.
right.
I
The other
agree.
thing I'm mentioning is the fact, like somebody like Marcy.
People know people, even if they didn't know her, they'd heard of her, they know of her.
Do they?
Yes.
All right,
Okay,
at our next school board meeting, I'm gonna ask.
There's
Okay,
many.
wait,
Okay.
okay.
No,
It's not-
All right, okay.
because
Wait,
All right.
wait,
sorry.
wait a
Excuse
minute.
me.
Wait a minute.
No,
If
no,
you
no,
have,
I-
if you have a buyer and you go to collect signatures, I don't know how anyone is planning to do it, but if I, Yelena Maknin, should collect signatures, I would be prepared to tell people who this person was. So people who trust me or trust my judgment will sign it. It's not a big deal. We are talking about 150 signatures. It can be collected in one apartment building.
That responsibility is the person nominating.
but I also
Okay.
want to bring this up before we let Michael, because he's the only one that's raising his hand here. Forget it, I forgot.
okay, I just
Mike,
have.
wait,
to say
wait, Michael,
Excuse me.
Mike.
No, I gotta say something. There is no way in hell, Marion, that you should bring it up at the next meeting till I get it all together, because I don't want her name banted about. Is that
Oh,
understood?
okay,
Thank you.
you are gonna do it, right?
I am.
Okay,
Okay,
count me as number one
Michael?
on your petition.
Okay, Michael,
Look, to put in my opinion, to put in an artificial timeline, as a rule, I see the way Joanne's going by it. She's gonna get her ducks in a row. She's gonna get all the eggs in the basket and then present it to the community
Right.
board. So
Absolutely.
we might not even know about it, so that time limit really doesn't play here. It actually
Okay.
puts more pressure on the community board than it does the people nominating someone for that honor.
No place for a time shift thing.
Also, just remember, it goes before the city council twice a year. So it really doesn't matter when we get our ducks in a row, then it's up to the city councilman to decide what the time frame will be. One, I know they do it in June. I think the other one is in January or February, but we have to worry more about our ducks in a row than theirs. But people have to remember that it goes twice a year.
Okay, that's a good point.
okay.
I have a question. Who's vetting the signatures?
The person that's applying for it.
Okay.
So
done.
if you're applying because you're gonna put my name right on the Gargiulo way, then, you know,
Lucy, we're not voting for you because you're not dying soon.
You gotta wait 5 years.
I have another question, Lucy. and
Yes.
Eddie. Are you gonna verify those signatures?
They said.
It's on that.
Mm,
That's, It's the achievement, not the signatures. Anybody can do an alphabetical order.
That's the whole thing. We don't want Joe Schmo.
Well,
to
we can,
go
I
by.
mean, we can tell them, we can be more specific and say, it says people within CB 13, the signatures, I think it says it somewhere there, that the signatures, it says printed residence, okay, residence name and signature. Maybe we should elaborate and say the person's address. Meaning from the signatures. Number 7, it says to print the person that I have to print my name and sign it. Maybe we should say,
No, it says
Address.
residence and sign name.
Yeah.
excuse me?
Want both.
It says residence.
Right, what she's saying, how we're gonna verify that this was really a resident.
It says residence. I think they spell residence. You have to put their address in. That's what they want. I think.
Right.
Okay.
So should we put that wording in and address?
But
I think
residence,
that's where Marion's going with this, right?
No, what
No.
I'm thinking of is somebody signs it, for
Chris,
instance.
stop
Marion-
texting me, I'm
Wait a
doing this,
second.
sweetie.
No, wait a second. Somebody signs the petition, Marion Cleaver. Marion Cleaver then puts the pen in her left hand and writes Deborah Cleaver. Then she puts it somewhere else. Follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People do that.
Forging,
People do
yeah,
that
forging, it's
constantly on
forging.
petitions.
Yeah, you're forging these
It's
things.
not election though. This is somebody saying they support somebody.
Well, ghost signatures.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can sign my whole family on one sheet. That's what we're trying to say. The question
Yeah.
is how we're going to verify it.
Well,
If
I'm
we're
not
gonna
calling
verify.
We could
150
call.
people, and neither you, that's number 1.
Good.
So I think the best thing to do is print name or residence. Okay, that's right. That's the address and your signature, and that's it. People are just gonna have to be honest.
That's not the key thing for deciding on somebody.
I
Listen,
mean, we could,
we do this on petitions and all the time. Listen, when they come here, I do my daughter, I do me, and that's it. I mean, what are we gonna do? But
if you want, you can put phone number.
No, we don't. I'm not calling anyone, and neither you.
Okay.
My last thing for my last thing was within this, and is not here, was to notarize this. So basically, they're telling us they so I didn't bring that up, but I'm bringing it up now at the last page. So I think this will cover that. Michael Silverman, the only one that's raising your hand, go ahead, my love.
No hand up.
Okay. All right. So number 8. It's good, as we say.
I think it's good. I think we
Satisfying
clarified
the
that.
form and content standards for the complete submittal. The district office shall refer the review to the land use committee.
Yeah, once they submit the whole package, if they don't submit it, whenever they feel like it, we're ready to roll.
Right. The
Yeah,
land
okay.
use committee's recommendation is subject to ratification by the full community board, who will have the final say on whether the application will receive support from the community board. Applicant is expected to attend and present at such a meeting. I think that's what aggravated you most.
Who?
I know it aggravated me with this last application.
Oh,
And that if he had had a family emergency, why didn't he notify the board
all right.
and say, look, you know, I've got an emergency to deal with. Can you postpone it for 2 months?
Or he could have called and said that Lucy's gonna present for him, an alternate. People.
Yeah,
you
but
know,
on the other side, if he was able to reach out to these people in the middle of the meeting to explain, then he could have come on and Zoom and done it too. So,
Okay, we're here at an hour already. I really don't want to pass 9. However, whatever point we get to, we would have to continue at a next meeting. So moving on, page 2, which I think a lot of this is very easy to go through. Go ahead.
Oh, I don't even think I have to read it. Applicant's name, applicant's address, applicant's phone number, blah, 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 right?
Mhm.
All right, so first you
Proposed.
want the street or the corner or the whatever.
Mhm.
All right, so the proposed honoree, the full name, the date of death. Okay, back on, I think it was number 1 or number 2. Yeah, we made it 3 years, okay. Do we really? Well, I guess it doesn't matter. Place
I
and
have a question.
cause of death, I think that's going over the top.
That's
Thank you. I
nobody's
was
business.
wondering why would we care why somebody passed, but I think somebody's point was if it was a police officer or something.
Yeah.
I don't care how someone passed, they're gone.
Nobody's business. I
It
would,
doesn't matter, even if it's a police officer. What's the difference?
I don't know, so let's take it out if everyone's agreeing.
that might
Okay.
come out in the narrative, somebody who's applying for this person, but you don't have to put the cause of death in because that's a private
Yeah.
situation.
The place, yeah.
Yeah, but that would be the reason up above, Eddie, that we're
Mhm.
doing this.
Yeah.
Optional.
What, the cause of death?
No, the
Not
date.
the cause of death. In other words, if it's somebody right
Mhm.
now, a police officer or a fireman who lost his life, you know, fighting a fire within the confines.
The cause of death, you don't put the disease in there. I mean, that's an optional description. This was an officer from our precinct or something like that, God forbid. or a
Yeah,
fire-
or
But that-
firefighter, whatever, yeah.
Mhm.
that's
So-
up to them, the option of the family to say that he was, that's what we're honoring him for his service.
So I think place and cause of death, it'll come
Remove-
with the application.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm
Any
removing it.
objections
We're
to
striking
remove
number
that
3.
line? Any objections to remove that line? I
No,
can't see.
No.
No objections, so we remove the line. Move on.
All right.
Date
Number
of birth,
4.
I think, again,
Well, I think the reason was that because they wanted to make sure that date of birth of the
place
proposed.
of birth,
Who
Date and
cares?
place. Wait.
that's
date and-
right.
date.
Mhm.
I don't care how old you are. If you passed on, you passed on. I don't know.
Right. Did the
Yeah,
proposed
that's right.
individual,
Okay.
did the proposed individual grow up? We're talking about infant to high
I'm sorry,
school?
let's go back to number 5 where it says place of birth.
I
should
think
we
that's
be-
totally ridiculous.
And yeah,
Place of
and they're
birth.
both-
Well, wouldn't they be within our district, living in our district?
But you have to
They
go
went
there.
someplace else, Lucy, and then moved here in their
it's
teen
just
years
the
or whatever.
line,
I
It's in the
don't know.
bio.
That's not
It's in the
important.
bio.
So take it off too?
Just
We're
the
taking
line,
that
it's in the
away?
bio. Leave it.
Yes, you
Okay,
should.
so we're taking away number 3, number 4, and number 5 on the proposed honoree. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Yes.
why do we need 6?
6, that you grew up within.
Oh,
the
I'm sorry, it's
community board?
2, 3, 4, 5. I apologize, on the proposed honoree. 2, 3,
Right.
4, 5, we're taking off?
Back to.
No, not, why are we taking off 2?
Sorry,
Date of death.
3, 4,
Date of
5,
death,
Lucia,
I
sorry,
guess.
go ahead.
Yeah.
3, 4,
Number
5.
6, we're leaving number
Yes,
6?
no,
Stay in there. Date of death is okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Okay,
why-
sorry.
All right. How about grew up within the community board?
That's a yes or no answer. Leave it.
How many people here right now grew up in community board 13?
I did.
Ah,
I
okay.
think that's just giving us an idea if they did or not. I don't really think it's
Right.
a real big deal to apply. I think it's just, we could get a feeling if
Exactly.
somebody's been around for 100 years.
And
Really?
also, wouldn't that be put in their bio?
And they could have worked in the
You
area.
don't know what someone's putting in a 150-word bio.
Not have to necessarily, you could have worked in the area, not lived in the area, right?
Yeah,
So let's not pin ourselves in.
Change it how
the
you want.
relationship of the applicant to proposed individual, I think that's important.
What? Which one?
I'm sorry, where are we now? Did we finish number 6?
Not important. That'll be part of his bio. They mentioned he grew up here, but if he spent his adult years here or something, or his job in here, that's different. I don't think you should put that in. It's not a criteria. He grew up here.
Number 6, we're still on, guys? Is that what we're on? Okay.
7,
Laura, just jump in because that's what is happening at this meeting. Go ahead.
Thank you. I knew an individual that was a police officer. I wasn't successful getting his family to sign or to talk to the community board of having his name, 23rd Street name renamed after his service. He served over 45 years in our community as a housing police officer. He retired he was supposed to retire the next day, and he had a heart attack the day before he retired. So he actually was still, they can't say a line of duty, but he still was employed.
Died on the job.
Right. But you know what? He was off duty anyway. He served in the community for 45 years as a housing police officer. He started out as a police officer, and when he passed, he was a sergeant in charge of major case at PSA 1. So saying this to say that somebody like him, just say if I was able to get his family or contact his family, what category under this rules that we talking about where he would have
Served in
felt?
the area. He served in the area. He worked in the area.
All right,
Okay.
but the
Okay, thank you.
relationship, excuse me, Gloria, the relationship be that he was a former colleague. You knew him as a colleague, or you, right?
I knew him. Okay, I'm going to say this fast because I could go into a long story about him because I knew him since I was a teenager.
Okay.
Anyway, how could I put this? Joanne, what was the question? I'm having a senior moment at. What was the question?
Where would he fit in? He was worked here. He served in the area.
Yes, he worked here, but he wasn't my colleague. I knew him. I met him and knew him by helping him with a flasher back in the 70s underneath the boardwalk. And him and his partner caught the flasher. The man was flashing at kids younger than myself. And one day I was able to see him and his partner walk. I flagged them down. And of course I was fast and running at that time. So they caught the man. And when I got employed with NYPD and he saw me, it was like a reunion. From that point on until his death, I was able to communicate back and forth with him.
Gloria,
So,
Gloria,
yes.
he lived in the area and he
No,
worked
he lived in Staten Island. He lived in Staten Island. He worked in PSA 1 from the time he got out of the police academy in the 70s until his timely death.
Okay.
He worked in PSA 1 on 20, in housing police, no matter if it was across the street or the new building. He worked in our community.
Okay, we're not honoring him tonight, so let's.
No, I'm not.
I love you.
I'm not
I
saying
love you, baby,
him.
but I want to get
I
out
love
of
you
here.
back. I love you back too, but I was just saying,
Yeah.
with all of this, what line would he have felt in?
Worked in the area.
You would have applied for it and he would have been what was it? I think it was somewhere significant something.
Interest in.
Thank you.
Yeah, a person with significant interest in the community. So now let's please get back on track. I don't want to keep people here too long. I believe we were on number 7.
Yes.
Go ahead, Marianne.
Okay, did the proposed individual live in the district at the time of his death? Is that significant? Is that important? Or should we just?
Again, I think it's just for us to get more information.
Okay, fine.
For me, if everyone objects, just jump in.
I object.
A case in point.
Police officer did not die in the community board 13, but he served. Example, so just say he has significant interest in community board 13 till he died. Significant interest.
Well, you can't do that either, because like in the case of Marcy Feigenbaum, she was in a home out in Long Island for the last couple of years. So she wasn't here.
Active years though, she lived here. Her active years as a career.
All right, yeah, but it says at the time of her death. So that's what I'm saying.
I think that question is take that out. Because I don't think it's necessary that she didn't die.
Pat Singer. Then it stays in. Move on. 8.
Relationship, I think that's important of the applicant to proposed individual. And that's self-explanatory. Next one. Does the applicant have the approval of the family next of kin? That's also a very significant question to ask. And if the answer is no, that's it, it stops.
Okay,
All right, Lucy, Eddie,
I'm good.
Michael,
Let's-
that's fine. That's
if
fine.
the family does not have the approval, that's it, end of discussion.
Mhm.
All right, relationship with the individual, right?
Hmm.
That makes sense too. Has any other public area been after the?
Mhm.
There's no database of streets that were
Mm.
co-named or alternately named. No, so
No,
that would be a hard one to check.
yeah, especially if some of the streets have been taken down, the posts been taken down and they don't get put back up, we wouldn't have a recollection of where they
Well,
were.
according to somewhere I read, I think it's the Department of Transportation, after 10 years, they're supposed to come down.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Ooh,
Oh, I
that's
didn't know
surprising.
that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're
I,
supposed, I think it's the Department of Transportation.
We can find out. We can find out. We can find
I
out. But
think that's-
because there are people who have been there more than 20 years, like Marcy.
I'm not moving to knock anybody
That's
down. Where we were number 10, has any of the public names have been proposed for this individual?
Let's
Yes.
assume no.
Is that where we were? I'm sorry.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the problem? We just want to know if they co-name another place.
Right.
All you have to do is Google it. I just put in like Ukrainian way and it pops up on a map exactly the corner.
If yes, we're not gonna consider it because I don't need Lucy Way every which way. So
Right.
let's, I'm not gonna, I think that's fine.
Yeah.
Number 11, go ahead, Marianne. Christopher, what do you need your hand up for?
No, that was an error.
Interesting, Lucy. One
Okay,
second.
thank you, dear.
On, I think it's West 10th Street, Albert Louis has 2 signs.
Well,
That's-
good for him. He died twice?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. He has 2.
No, it's across the street.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's a couple, there's also Harry Warren Way. That's
Okay,
on.
but this community board is not
actually,
gonna
it's
consider it, that's
Community Board
it.
11, forgive me, sorry.
Okay.
But there are 2 separate places where there's signs.
Mm.
A block away from each other. It's very strange.
For 11, I don't think we need, because we wouldn't even consider anybody who was a criminal.
No, I know that, but what I'm saying is I'm walking around and I'm seeing
Well,
these.
we're gonna
people.
discuss that one. There was a big
Yeah.
debate in the office on that
It
one, Pat.
I'm the only black.
I'm just trying to get a senior citizen fingerprinted so she can go to Israel. And it's very difficult to get things.
Okay, so we're okay with number 10. Let's move on to number 11.
Mm.
What I'm talking about. I don't think.
Has the proposed individual ever been convicted of a crime?
Mm.
So now I'm gonna use the perfect example. I definitely was like, if you had a crime, no. But I'm gonna use it and Jeff tell me if I can't. Can I?
Yeah, you can use it.
Okay, so Ida was arrested for being on the beach.
Who was?
Ida
Ida.
Sanoff was arrested at one point in her life
Sure.
for something that happened at the beach. I'm not gonna go into details because I don't remember.
Misdemeanor.
That, it doesn't matter.
Right, so that's
Any
why
crime.
it was a big debate, because we feel that it
She was
depends
sitting
on
in
the
her
type of
chair,
crime.
in her bikini.
Again, I'm not gonna go there, again, and at this point, it
was
could be
all
a
written
big
up in the
crime if she goes
Brooklyn
with a bikini. At this point, it could be a big, big crime. Maybe she could stop the casino by standing there and tell them, this is gonna be your poster child.
No. Okay.
love
You don't stop those things.
So, all joking aside, it was based on what actual crime did the person commit? So that's why it says, if yes, please give details, blah, blah, blah. I think
would
that's
say
just
take
thing.
that whole thing out, 11. I'm sorry. They wouldn't be
Okay.
worthy of anything.
Why?
Because they
But
did a crime and
But listen to what you said, I got arrested for her beautiful bikini.
I wouldn't support somebody who had a criminal background.
Well, you have to realize it. Okay. All right. I got
She's
it.
died now, so why would you want to bring up something that doesn't?
All right. What if someone been reformed? The best example we have right now is Debbie Santiago. Everyone remembers Debbie Santiago. Before she became a pastor,
Yes,
was
she had a
hooker,
history.
She did drugs. She did everything, and she was arrested.
She-
Now
she-
her name is up on the street.
Why would
of-
you bring that up when she turned
Because
around?
is the thing that we're asking for future reference.
That's right.
So the question is, do you want this to be, because we did it in the past, do we want to hold it for the future? Or do we do it from here on that we don't accept anybody who has a convicted of a
No,
crime?
Maureen.
I don't like it. Deadbeat people like that, they did great stuff with their life. They turn themselves around and they
Right.
protect the positive.
Absolutely.
You couldn't care less as to what the reasoning was?
No,
No.
even Jesus forgave, okay?
All right, Michael?
You mean Ida Sandoval her babies who didn't convince you?
Might not forget, but we'll forgive.
Sure. Okay, wait, Michael?
I think we're not going at this properly. I think the idea of this questionnaire is just to give the community board some more basic information before they sign off on it. Now, that doesn't mean that Ida's misdemeanor is going to stop her, right? Or stop the community board. Hopefully we don't have that question for many, many years.
Very
Okay,
personal,
but-
Michael. I think that the family should just.
Pat, excuse me, Pat.
I'm sorry, but go ahead.
I think it's important that the community board has an idea, a whole picture of the person that we are going to honor. And that's not necessarily going to be available in the biography that somebody puts together. So you want to know whose name is going to be up there for the next 10 years. That's all.
I
agree.
Listen, there was someone called me right after we did, what's that gentleman from the pharmacy?
Fisher.
Frank Giordano.
Frank Giordano.
Frank, right? Right after we did Frank, someone called me and said, Lucy, we want to do a co-naming for Apple. But then I said, are you sure you want to bring it to us? Because the Bible's going to have to say that Apple was a drug dealer. But but he was a drug dealer, but he gave to the community. And if any kid was in need, he gave them money. But he was still a drug dealer. So I think, to Michael's point, we would like to know what type of what type of criminal actions you've done. And if it was the Ida baiting suit, I would vote for Ida to get a co-naming. That's all I'm saying. So I personally think number 11 is okay, but to each, we could all discuss it. Okay, so I guess the discussion's on the table. The only one that doesn't want it is Pat Singer.
So
Any
we
other
agree or not
objections?
agree?
No.
Sorry, Pat, love you.
Think of Debbie. I mean, would she like to see her past brought up like this in her honor?
Yes.
What you did in the past? She did all this good work, and this is going to tarnish it.
That actually makes the story even stronger,
Even
right?
stronger,
From
right.
where she came and what she was able to accomplish and can
Story,
continue
though.
to do for the community. So again, this is just for the committee and ultimately the community board, the 50 people in the community board.
If the community board knows Santiago, they know her history. They don't have to throw it out there.
They don't, because everybody doesn't know everyone, and we are gonna be gone. And this is why we need the back papers on this. We need the history background. Sorry, you're outvoted. Keep going. 12. Love you. You're outvoted. Sorry.
Okay,
Pat.
indicate if the proposed individual meets any of the following criteria. The following are all yes or no questions. Member of uniformed forces killed in the line of duty, died while engaging in a heroic act, died under the circumstances of crime, acted in social circumstances of the like that lead to a greater awareness within society of the cause of death and a concerted effort to address the
I
problem.
don't know that I like it.
That one, I don't fully understand.
I don't like C.
I imagine that would definitely be in the bio. That it's a very significant reason for the co-naming of the street. All right,
This all should come out by the person who's applying this person as part of the bio on this person.
yeah, I mean,
I don't know, I'm still in the mind frame of Michael Silverman, that this gives us a lot of information that is not indicated in the bio. I personally
Don't
think
know that much about this person. This person should not be considered.
you're right. So then why should we eliminate stuff that that would give us an idea about this person?
We should know this
And don't
much
tell me the bio, because everybody doesn't put the truth in the bio.
okay, so you
They
want to
put the
leave
story.
the same way you have in 13, if yes, please specify. Under C, put in if yes, please specify.
I'm sorry, what?
Okay,
Number 12, we're on number 12.
what, I know we're on 12. We
No, I'm
have,
telling Lucia, sorry.
excuse me, we have 3 questions.
Mhm.
All right, what I'm saying is add after the third yes, no. If yes, please specify. That's all I'm saying to add. You
That
did it
works.
for 13, do it for 12,
Okay, no problem.
right? You see what I'm saying, Lucia?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Yeah. All right, in other words, if the community board really wants to know, let's know.
Okay.
All right, 13 up.
Oh, we did that right.
We didn't do 13. I just took a piece of 13.
Oh, okay.
Did the proposed individual maintain significant connections with the community?
Okay.
All right, that's a yes or no question, and if yes, please specify.
Someone's
Okay.
retired. I'm just
Yeah.
saying to you, I would say did they maintain an impact, a significant impact on the community? Not connections, they moved out.
Well, I think what Lucia was trying to say was maintain any type of appearance, or I don't know if it's another word. to
Retired,
connect.
they retired, they moved away.
And but Pat, per se, if you're retired, nobody's ever gonna forget you. You're still gonna be somewhat within Brighton area, and everybody's gonna know what you're up to. And you're gonna call Barbara, or you're gonna call Elena, and still kind of be on a radar.
Or you think about
Necessarily with
Marcy,
everybody.
who the last couple of years was living in a, I guess, a assisted living. And it wasn't in Brooklyn, and it definitely wasn't in Brighton.
Does
But
anybody
yes,
know why we lost Yelena?
Oh, no.
I
She got
realize
bored?
because she's very quiet.
She turned down.
She hear it all?
No,
No,
she's
no.
okay. No, all right.
Her
Continue.
phone battery died.
She has a computer. All right. So, all right. I mean, I would see the other one always brings me back to like Woody Guthrie. Now with him, the only claim to fame was he was born here in Coney Island, and they gave him a street name. You know, and that's
Yeah, but
why.
that was in the past.
Okay, then that's fine then. All right. So
All
as
right.
long as there's significant.
Now-
connection
Now
to
we're
the
firming it
community.
up.
Good. Okay, that's all. Because we don't need someone to say, "Oh, he was born here." So that's nice. But what has he done since
Okay.
then? Yeah.
Again, did the proposed individual ever hold office? Yes, no, and there we got it, yes. Right, we didn't name anything after Howard Lasher, did we? We named
No.
the street after Marshall Rappaport
Marshall Rappaport and Harry Schwartz.
and Harry Schwartz, yeah.
Yes. And Herb was the school.
Herb was the school. Herb was
Yes.
bigger than the
Herb
street.
was the school.
8:12, I don't want to leave past 9, please.
All right, go.
Okay. All right, we
Listen.
answered that one. Did the proposed individual have accomplishments in business, philanthropy, humanitarian, blah, 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 blah?
Eddie, you
Again,
want to bring it
yes
up
or
to
no?
12?
Oh, what was that?
You want to bring it up to 12? You're showing 15. Thank you.
No,
Did 12.
we did 12. We did
All
12.
right,
We
what
did 13.
Well,
number are we up to?
We did 15.
Doing 15.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was right. Okay.
16, I guess this is a form now that is different than the original thing. All right, it has to be 5 years or more. Did the
Okay.
proposed individual directly serve the community for 5 years or more?
Right.
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
change it to 5.
Mhm.
Oh, proposed organization honoree world
Yeah.
event.
Yes, you'll see.
Is the proposed organization a not-for-profit? All right. Has any other public area been named? Same question, yes or no? Has the proposed organization's officers blah, 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 ever convicted of a crime? Yes or no? Has the proposed, I'm up to number 4 already.
Yep.
Has the proposed organization demonstrated a 10-year commitment to and participation in the civic life of the community in areas other than the area for which the organization was founded?
No.
I think we're gonna change that to 5 years.
Look at the same thing.
Go.
But these are
What date do you
organizations
start?
now,
What dates?
remember.
Hold on. I'm looking by.
It's not an individual, it's an organization.
Yeah, these are, you want them to be there longer than 5 years because they're here today, gone tomorrow,
Did you know yet?
within 3 to
Okay.
5 years.
I leave
I think
forward
10 years again, we're going the 10 years
that's
when there's an 8
Yeah.
year.
You want to compromise to 8 years then, at least?
An organization meaning like, like a JCC type of situation.
Yeah, or let's say Operation Hood. Right now, Operation Hood is only there for 3 or 4 years.
Well,
So-
same thing with the Kiwanis or any of those
Yeah.
organizations.
Or do you want to go with 8 according to Mary? And I'm fine with 8. Anybody
Yeah, I mean,
else objects
5 is
to
too
8?
early. Yeah.
I was in favor of 5, but.
I'm not going with 5. I will go with 8 like everyone else.
All right.
I'm
Thank
with
you,
it.
Christopher.
Thank you. 13 years is much too long for this.
No.
type of thing.
So
Yeah.
But thank you, Christopher.
how about 8, guys? Mariam wants 5, I want 8. Is anybody, what do you
I'm
guys,
with
if
8.
there's,
Jeff says 8. Mike?
8.
Russo? 8.
All right, I'm
Pat?
outvoted. That's fine.
Okay.
number 5, let's go.
All right, 5 at
If
this
the
part.
proposed organization does not operate from property, okay, that needs a little clarification.
Oh,
Proposed organization does not operate from
yeah.
property.
Remove the
That doesn't make-
comma.
Yeah, well, continue reading the sentence, Marion.
Oh, if we get rid of the comma,
Well, so get rid of the comma.
get rid of the comma, yes. It owns or to which it has a significant connection. Then we put the comma after connection. Then is the proposed organization a national, state, or local organization with a demonstrable, extraordinary, contribution
Oh,
to
wow.
the civic life and social welfare of the district. Okay. Yeah,
Great
slow and
question.
see mission.
It's a yes or no answer. If
Right,
yes,
the yes or
explain.
no answer, correct.
It's a yes or no answer. If yes, explain.
Right, okay.
Don't just leave it.
Well, it says, it says if yes, it would not be
Wait.
considered.
They have to have a significant connection to something.
Yeah, but you could do that for the aquarium. The aquarium's run by the wildlife organization. You know?
Yeah, they're connected.
I'm
to the
sorry,
life.
there's a typo here, I think. There's a typo. Go down to it, Eddie.
Which one?
It should be, if
No,
no,
it should be correct, Michael?
right.
It says, if yes, please indicate where. CB 13 would not consider the honoree if no.
Right.
Yes,
Wait a minute. If the
Right.
proposed organization does not operate from property it owns,
It's a no. We don't honor you.
does not,
Or
so we've got
rents,
2
or
negatives
rents.
in there.
Rents. How much they own it, they're not always rich.
So how about we make it, if the proposed organization operates from the property it owns or to which it has a significant connection, then, comma, is the proposed organization a national, state, or local organization with a demonstrable extraordinary contribution to the civic life and social welfare of the district. Then you're answering
Is it
Okay, yeah.
criteria?
positive question, yes or no.
Yeah, I agree.
And then it says, if
No, they
yes,
don't
please.
own a property, they're not being considered an organization.
Correct. That's where we're going with that sentence. If yes, please indicate where CB, where. And then it says CB 13 would not consider the honoree if a no.
No, now we
They had
know.
a typo.
Yeah.
That's wrong.
The typo.
You don't own
I
your property
said
where you work
if-
at.
Pat,
Pat,
Okay,
it
stop. I
then
want
the
Michael
que-
Silver. Sorry, Michael Silver, try to explain it again.
if the proposed organization does not operate from property it owns or to which it has significant connection, that, for example, somebody brought up Operation Hood, they don't own, okay, their property,
That's right.
but they do have significant connection. So they're okay.
But if it's a
Follow?
DNA rents an office, rents an office, we don't have a significant interest or connection to the landlord, but to the
It's not
community.
saying
yes.
landlord.
doesn't
That's
say
clear to me.
a national,
But-
you're not a, Pat, you're
Also
not
has
a
a-
national state, but you are a local organization with a demonstrable
Right,
extraordinary contribution to the civic life and social welfare.
right.
But what I would add before district, the welfare of the individuals within the district.
We're talking about naming of individuals, not organizations, though, I'll be honest with you.
But an organization is together to help individuals, whether
Civic
it's
life.
cleaning the street or whether it's helping them do their taxes or
Mhm.
Fine, but
providing knowledge of something.
talking
you're
about naming a
still
street
helping
after an organization now? I don't
Huh?
understand that. We don't have that
You
many
know,
streets.
other community boards do it.
We just did, what is it?
Ukrainian way.
Ukrainian way.
That
Well,
was kept
That's number 6.
before, I guess, but can't do that. We don't have that many blocks.
Okay, but we still need
We
people
don't have enough
applying.
naming of individuals yet. We
I
said
get that,
that.
but you need to apply. This is the application. Maybe I'm
number-
not hearing you
number
correctly.
6,
Maybe I'm
like
not
number
understanding what
6.
you're saying.
Number 6 will be what we would consider the Ukrainian way.
All right, how are we leaving if the proposed organization does not operate from property it owns? We're leaving it negative, and it says if they don't operate from the property, then it's a yes.
From an office,
This
obviously,
has-
not the street.
Wait a second, this has 2 questions in it. The first one is, does not operate from property it owns. So it's a rental or a lease. And then, does it have a significant connection
Right.
to national, state, or local organizations? So there are 2 questions within this.
Take out the owns. Doesn't matter if they own or rent. But they have a demonstrative extraordinary contribution to the civic life and social welfare. That's the key thing.
That's important. But if they don't own the property, what's the difference?
Because it says here, if you say, no, I don't own the property, then you're out. I don't think
And
that's
if you
necessary.
don't
If you own it.
Pat,
No,
if
no,
you
own
don't
it
own
was-
the property, excuse me, you don't own the property. Does that
it
mean
has a significant connection.
you can't make a contribution to the,
No, I'm sorry.
line?
So, can I clarify?
yeah. feel
Okay,
free.
so owns it or to which it has a significant connection to.
That phrase does own or whatever. I don't, it doesn't matter where they.
It doesn't have to own it, but they have to have a significant connection to that block. Like, again, I give an example of JCCC.
You have to say something, but
Let's go with the assemblyman's comment or his office on the chat. Please read that one.
Yeah, but it went away.
Well, the staff can pull it up.
All right,
Oh, I
just
got
my
it.
thought. Oh, you got it?
No, you got it.
You
Okay.
want to share it again? You want to say it?
She's gonna say it.
Yes,
Okay, go ahead.
just, so this is Gregory Kursup from Navajov's office. Assemblyman Navakhov, I'm sorry. Just my thoughts, who will deem it a significant connection? The organization, the community board, or the community, etc.? Question mark.
The community board. It's our
Right.
guidelines.
Yeah, but what are the criteria for deciding it's significant?
Yeah, the phrase does not operate from property, that's not important, but it has a significant connection with the.
What is significant? Does it give out food once a week or 5 days a week?
That's a
That could be
significant connection, but owning a property is not the important thing.
Right, again, what is significant?
It's serving the community in some way. Extraordinary
right.
contribution to the civic life or social welfare of the district. That's your point.
My son works for Hotshare and they have a home in Coney Island. And they do help the community. So, you know, it's a very vague question. You know, we should
Significant to the property.
we should cut it down a little bit. I think you should just take out own or operate the property. Just take it out.
What?
Makes
So
the
here-
sentence simpler.
Okay, so here's my thought on where I was going with this when this was put in. Per se, another organization is going to be named here. I can't, like NBC per se, very vague and very, you know. So if somebody wants to name it, did it have a property in Coney Island? What's the purpose of basically naming a street NBC if they did not operate from here?
It has a demonstrative extraordinary contribution to the civil life and social.
That's what's important, I think.
What I'm saying is right now you've got two different questions. And if you say yes to, then is the proposed organization with a demonstrable extraordinary contribution. And if you say yes to it, then the next thing said, CB 13 will not consider the honoree if it's yes.
That it operates.
That was
from
a
the
typo.
district,
That's a
within the
typo.
district.
Question?
Michael, jump
think
in,
that's a
just
typo.
jump
That should
in.
be
It
no.
doesn't-
No,
Michael,
I'm
jump
not
in.
gonna just jump in.
Okay,
Michael
Michael, sir.
Silverman has his hand risen.
Was it?
Rosen, raised?
Raised.
I think we need to scratch the first sentence and a half and just start. Is the proposed organization a national, state, or local organization
Right.
with an extraordinary contribution to the civic life and social welfare of the district?
Right.
So the answer we're looking for is obviously yes. Hold on. So the next question should actually disappear. If yes, please indicate where CB 13 will not consider, well,
If
please
That was a
no,
typo.
please
where,
indicate.
hold on. Please indicate where, because CB 13 will not consider the honoree if no.
It should be no, not if yes.
Yes, I said that was a typo.
Right. So I think if you start, is the proposed organization, get rid of the first sentence and a half, or part of the first sentence,
Mhm.
and I think that clears this up.
Yeah.
National, state, or local organization with a extraordinary contribution, that whole thing says.
Right.
Okay, so my question is, Lucia, did you get that?
No, I did not. Is the
Okay.
proposed organization?
Michael, will you
Okay.
be so kind as to take 30 seconds and type it in the chat so she can copy it?
Lucy,
I know.
I have it for her.
You have it?
Okay.
Okay, so we're
Okay.
good. So let's
It-
move on.
it's
And
real-
then the second one's,
It's really simple. The number 5 will start, is the proposed organization, right there,
Mhm.
Second
that's
line,
that's the question. Let's highlight it.
the second line.
Yep.
okay.
Mhm.
We got it, ladies?
And change that to no.
And then number, and
Change
then
it
the
to no,
second one
right.
is a no.
I have that.
Okay, I got it now too.
Okay, number 6, explain the relevancy of the world event to our community. I don't know what the hell that's about.
What is that?
So where I was going with this was the Ukrainian way co-naming.
Mm-hmm.
So I was going with this was the Ukrainian way co-naming.
Okay, so my question is,
I mean, I didn't know, like, do I put a country? How is that relevant to,
I
you know?
kind of don't think that's even relevant to this.
Crane
whole
Way
thing.
was just an odd, unusual situation. I don't
But
I
it
think.
think
won't come
number
up again.
5 covers number 6. That's just my opinion.
Mm,
I don't know, but we can leave number 6. Now I know what the world event is. I remember when you just
Yeah.
said Ukrainian way.
Right.
So,
I don't.
okay,
I don't understand.
I
it.
think
Want to
that's
leave
good.
number 6?
Paige,
Excuse me?
we
You
got
want to
leave
number
it?
eight.
number 6?
I say leave it. And then if someone doesn't understand what it means, then we explain it to them.
The world event, what world event? This is a local.
Ukrainian
Ukrainian way.
That's one thing, but you're naming organizations are local now. You're putting in local. They were domestic organizations.
9/11,
It was not an organization. It was like a
the world event, you can say 9/11.
9/11, that, or let's say Holocaust Memorial.
Okay,
Holocaust
so all we're
Memorial
telling them
Day.
is to explain it. Why do we have to have a discussion on this? You applying?
Number
Pat
7,
Singer, you're
and it
saying
is-
we shouldn't?
There is
Pat
no,
doesn't want it in
Sandy.
there.
done with an emotion. You have a memorial park, maybe. These things call for a park or something and people can come to. The Ukrainian way also is kind of a surprise for all of us. It's a very good idea about Ukraine, what we're going through, but that's not something that's a normal thing. And your bylaw there is talking about domestic organization that operates here.
Well,
I don't know. You guys decide. I couldn't care less.
the Wall of Remembrance on West 19th Street, right by the boardwalk, right by the park.
Not the
There is
name
a
of a
sign
street.
there, but that is the name of the street. So this is the name of the street too, you see? So even though there is a wall there, this is the name of the street of that wall.
I got your other thing where you say, you name someplace else. So you're not talking about naming of a street.
So let's do a quick poll, quickly. Yay, no, leave it, take it away.
Okay, Marion Cleaver,
I say take it away. It's too confusing.
so, okay. Shimon Rakowski,
Take it away.
Pat Singer,
Take it away.
Pat Singer,
He's called me. My, take it away.
take it away. Elena Machen,
We lost her.
okay,
Yeah.
Michael
For a
Russo,
while.
Mike Russo?
Take it away.
Jeffrey Sanoff,
Leave it.
Gloria Watkins,
Gloria?
who?
No, take it away.
You got enough.
Joanne Weiss,
He disappeared too?
No, she's there.
No, she's there.
Joanne? You gotta unmute. No, unmute, hit unmute.
Take it away.
Okay, for the people who did say take it away, if this comes up again, remember,
I'm not saying I didn't vote.
Lucy Mujica Diaz.
It's
Yeah,
not
you
that
jump
it's
in.
gonna make a difference because I'm outruled. I say leave it.
okay. But remember this from you guys who said take it away. If another block comes up with the same situation as Ukrainian way, this will have to be answered somewhere, somehow in this form, okay? Just to give you a point of reference, okay? It doesn't have to be Ukrainian, it could be Haitian way, it could be
Puerto
Pakistani.
Rican Avenue.
Okay.
Just to let you know, so don't think that, we
Okay,
have,
listen, it's away. I'm not gonna discuss it. This is why we were here. Let's move on to the next page and we're finished.
yes, number 5.
Does anybody object to the hosted certification? The only thing I wanted is to be notarized.
Declare under penalty of perjury that the foregoing
Yes.
information.
Everybody agrees to notarizing it? I will work with Lucia to format it to a nice format. And what I would like to do, if it's okay with the committee, is now send it to our council people. And because they're the ones that also have to work with us and say, this is what the committee came up with on March 16th. Is there anything that you would like us to add or remove or explain? Hopefully we'll get a feedback because the only one that wrote back to us today was Troy. The rest of them couldn't care less. But if we don't get a feedback from them, since we have enough time, do you want to present it at the full board or you want to have another meeting?
I hate to say
I'm
it, but
asking the committee, Eddie.
Presented at the board.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with Jeff.
Okay, so today is the 16th. When's the full board?
next week,
The
Next
22nd?
yes.
Mhm.
And that's the
So-
reason why you have to listen to this.
Listen, if they know what they're supposed to be doing on co-namings, which they should by now, is we need your feedback by the 21st.
Right.
If the feedback is extreme, then we let the chairs of the committee know it was extreme and we need to bring it back to committee to finish the draft. And she doesn't present it at the full board. How's that?
Fine.
So you're gonna distribute this first by the 21st.
Well, Lucia's gonna send it tomorrow to the city council people because it was minor changes. I think she can do it by tomorrow. And say to the city council people, listen, the land use committee voted on these guidelines. Well, we didn't really, well, then we need to do a vote, right?
Yeah, you have to do a vote then. If you want, because you have to present it to the full board
Yeah,
too.
then now I kind of agree with
Yeah,
Eddie
see.
because
Because the board can change their mind at the last
I'd
second.
rather vote after they come back
Yeah.
with their comments, unless you want to.
Yeah, they're not gonna get
No,
you
That makes
comments
sense.
by the 24th.
No, you're not.
So then I would say, send it to them on Monday and say the committee came up with these guidelines. We're looking for input from you. Please respond to us by April, whatever.
This is the suggested guideline. If you have an opinion, please express it.
Exactly. Okay, whichever way. Thank you, Pat. And please get back to us by, let's give them the first week in April because it's Passover.
Mhm.
And if they have so many changes, then we have to meet again. If they don't have any changes, we'll send it to the committee members and then bring it to the full board in April. At that time, I guess we would have to do a 5-minute committee vote meeting, or we can just present it to the full board.
Full board.
Michael's, Marion? Did I explain that right?
I think so, but
I don't want to have another,
I
we could
think
have
what
another
we
committee
should
meeting in
have,
April.
according to the minutes of the land use committee, but this really isn't a meeting, or is it? Because if it's gonna be reported to the full board,
and
Then
if there's any
what we
changes,
could say, what we could say is we went over it and we've reached the point that we realize that we need the local officials to agree with our proposal before we bring it to the full board.
That's on the 22nd of March is what you're going to say.
Yes.
So then we give the elected officials to the first week of April to give us their input.
Right.
If there's, and then if you guys want to have another land use meeting for 5 minutes to just discuss what they came up with and make a vote and then bring it to the April meeting. That's my opinion.
Well, I think we'll need a meet.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you guys think they're gonna look at it? I think we should also give the courtesy to the assembly people and the
Why?
state senate people.
Why?
They don't
They
approve
have
the city
nothing to do
council.
with it.
Don't make
They
it
don't approve
political.
co-namings.
No, they're state.
They
We have
don't approve
two
co-namings, Eddie.
Excuse me,
City
we have
ruling,
two
right?
representatives here.
But
Yeah.
they don't approve co-namings. So who cares?
no,
have
but they could also bring the names up too.
They
So
can
they bring
also, no, they can also bring support.
You're right.
We have more than 2 representatives. We have 2 assembly members. We have 1 state senator. They have nothing to do with approving. So next one, somebody will say, let's send it to congressman. We also have a
Right.
congressman.
That's right.
It's
No,
city.
So,
It's
But
only
it's not
state.
that
but they're
serious.
Send it
local,
to the mayor.
excuse me, they're local enough to be able to give something.
Mhm.
You don't think so? You think the council just controls
I don't
this?
think it's gonna hurt.
No.
Send it out to them and send it to us. All the board members.
Oh,
are
Troy has his hand up. Excuse me, we have a hand up.
And you
Troy?
can drop the screen now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I would say the council's biggest role in this is just the submission of community's will at the end of the day. And the formality of getting that through there. Certainly, if a council member is against a co-naming, that's a particular, or vice versa for that matter. That's something to haggle at. But I think at the end of the day, deference to the community board is sort of what the thought process that I've been hearing increasingly is. So the fact that you have a really well thought out process here, I mean, maybe there'll be some feedback and comments, but it's very, very thorough and in line with what many of the other community boards do. So what's the role of the council? I think it's submitting it and the ceremonial stuff and making sure that the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. And so you mentioned the streets. Maybe if there's like not a directional sign on the particular corner that someone wants, well, so someone needs to mention that at some point and say,
Well,
okay.
you will, when we send it to your office, you send back and say, this is what I want.
So, yeah.
I mean, but our question was, Troy, should we ask our other elected officials? And a lot of us feel we shouldn't. We should just give it to the city council people.
I'll defer to, I don't want to speak for.
Well, let's take a vote, guys, and let's get this evening with that. So again, let me clarify what we're doing. We came up with this. Lucia's going to edit it. I'm going to format it for her. On Monday, she's going to send it to whoever we agree upon and say, respond to us by the first week of April. We'll have another land use meeting. We tweak it or whatever. We'll tweak everything to make sure that everything's there. We'll take a vote. Then we bring it to the full board April meeting. Is that what we're agreeing upon?
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
So now all we need to vote on is, does it go only to city council or every elected official that's kind of mentioned? Am I correct? Am I correct? Okay, so let's do that and then we'll call it a night, guys. So Lucia, you get.
Marion Cleaver.
Since I thought of it, yes.
She's saying yes all.
To all, okay. Shimon Rankowski.
Yes.
This Marion.
Pat
thought of it.
Singer.
So what? Stop. What is he yesing?
He's yesing that we're sending it to all elected
He has
officials.
to say that because I didn't know that.
That's right.
Oh,
Yeah, I have a quick question. By
Yep.
all elected officials, you're also including the congressman?
No,
Oh, we're
no,
calling
the
the mayor too.
local ones.
But that,
The local one.
Well, that doesn't make sense. It's either all or none.
No. It's just going up to state
Oh, we're
senate.
No, we're not notifying the mayor. We're not notifying the borough
BP.
president.
Okay, let's
All right,
stop. Marion,
excuse me.
can you be clear on the other elected
Yes,
officials?
I am thinking of the people that have more interest in our community. And those are the two assembly people, the two assembly members, and the state senator. I don't think the other state senator also has a piece. I think. No, Gloria.
So what Marion is saying, when you say all, you're agreeing with Marion with the city council and who she just mentioned. If you do not agree with her, then just say city council and we can call it a night because Michael has wine and I need a glass of wine as well.
Me too. Me too.
3. So we have 3 glasses of wine that we need to go. Look, and he's showing off. He's empty.
It's empty.
I've been watching you, Michael.
Okay, so please,
Uh-oh.
again, Lucia, we got it, sweetie?
in favor, again, I'm asking, in favor would be all elected officials versus city council only.
People, when someone
Why
votes,
don't
they're
you
gonna say
all
all, and when
plan it?
someone votes, they're gonna say city council.
Yeah,
Okay,
either say all or city council.
okay, all or city council.
So
See
I'm
how nice
still
I am when I
saying
take my pills? See how nice I am?
Need a pill right now. Okay, let's start over. Marion Cleaver.
all.
Okay, Shimon Rukovsky.
City Council,
Pat Singer.
All.
Yelena Machnin.
City Council,
Michael Russo.
all,
Jeffrey Sanoff.
City Council,
Well, Gloria Watkins,
Oh, boy. Do I have to really answer this?
Yes.
okay, I'll
Let's-
come back to you if you want.
Yeah, come back to me. No, I'm gonna say it now because
Okay.
none of
It's
them,
9 o'clock.
Let's go.
Okay,
none
so
of them.
No.
none of them,
No,
you're
come on.
abstaining?
You can't do that. You have to do either
Come on,
one.
choose one.
Gloria.
Okay, I got you. All of them.
Okay. Joanne Weiss
City Council.
Again, we're tied. Okay.
and Lucy
No,
Mujica
Lucy.
Diaz.
City Council.
Believe it's 5-4.
5-4, correct. City Council wins.
Right.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
fine.
Any new business?
I
Any
got a
old
question.
business?
Yeah, happy
Another
St.
business.
Patrick's Day.
Michael,
I think
Michael,
this was very
Michael,
productive.
wait.
I
Michael has
really,
a, Michael
wait.
has something.
Oh, Michael's inviting us to his house for wine.
Okay.
I think this was very productive. I really thank you all because it was a long time overdue that we should have had some type of guidelines. Maybe we would have not been in that mess that we were a few months ago.
All right, Michael Russo.
All
Thank
right,
you.
and I'm just bringing up, they had the environmental and the thing, and they had the presentation from the Army Corps. Shouldn't that have been a land use meeting also, what they presented?
No,
No.
No?
it was parks. It was boardwalk. It was basically with the boardwalk, and environmental was because of the beach with Army Corps of Engineer.
You know, but that,
But not land use, not land use. Does it deal with zoning?
All
or
right,
land-
can we get them to present something, or could we get a copy of their
We gave it. We
presentation?
sent it to you guys.
Sent
We
it
sent
out.
to you guys.
Got it.
We sent
I
it.
never got it, unless
morning.
it's spam.
I definitely sent it out. I'll send it to you personally, Marion, tomorrow.
Thank you.
No
all
problem.
right.
Okay.
Michael, do you need a copy of that presentation
No, I had a
too?
copy, that's what I saw, but I would have liked to seen it in the meeting. That's,
Oh, you can watch the video. We
I can send you the video.
We have
send
a
you the video
video.
now.
I can't drink my wine in the video.
Oh, don't try it.
Motion to adjourn.
I think popcorn is better than
I
wine.
third
I
it.
don't think you
Second that
have any
motion.
objection.
Seconded.
I
Adios.
second it.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Great
Good
job.
night.
Thank you.